very long day. Thank you all for staying, for coming, and also staying. My name's Shanna Gregory. I'm the Global Leadership Director for Women Who Code, which means Women Who Code is my full-time job. I'm joined here by 5 directors from different cities who are volunteers for Women Who Code and do a lot for the community. So wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to hear about what they do in their day-to-day and what their communities are like. So we can just start off by introducing yourself. Tell us where you came in from. I know we all have signs, but talk a little bit about yourself and what you do for your full-time role, what you're interested in. And then we'll talk about communities later. Jane, go ahead and start.
My name is Shih. I'm from Taipei. I have been a director for 3 years, and we just promoted 2 other directors this year, Johnny and Angel. Please, just wave your hands. Yeah. So my full-time job is an entrepreneur. My company is called We Together. We build community for tech professionals, especially women in tech. So my daytime job is about women in tech. My nighttime job about volunteering is for women in tech. So that's me.
Hello everyone, I'm Shwetha Lakshman. I represent Bangalore chapter, India, and I have been associated with Women Who Code for about 4 years now, and it has been a great journey so far. So if it comes to the passion or the things that I do beyond work is mostly figure out the opportunities for women in tech.
Hi everyone, I'm Kei from Tokyo, Japan. I've been involved in Women Who Code Tokyo as a director since September 2018. So it's been exactly 1 year. Amazing year. And my full-time job is Adobe Experience Manager consultant. How many of you ever heard Adobe Experience Manager? I know it's a kind of niche, but it is like it's Adobe's product, and it's an entrepreneur content management system. And I do the customize, so it's built in the Java. So I do the customize for the client. That's my full-time job.
Hi everyone. Are you enjoying Connecting Asia so far? Yes. Yeah, I'm Yujin. I'm from Seoul, South Korea, and then our network has been launched this year. So we're quite brand new network. Yeah, and then thank you very much. And I've joined the Women in Code Seoul chapter as a director since March, and preparing to launch it. And then we're so excited to have more and more women in tech joining our community. And as beside of that, for my full-time job, I'm doing product marketing and working for a company called Noom and helping people to having a healthier life. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is YiQun. I come from Beijing, China. My full-time job is I'm a senior software engineer manager. I working from VMware. That's all.
Great, thank you. Yeah, you can hold on to that. Great. So we have a pretty good mix of representing 5 different networks across Asia. You might see some photos in the background flashing through, trying to represent our other networks. We're really, really excited to be in Singapore and also to bring leaders together from Manila and all over. I can't list them all right now, but we had a meeting yesterday with people from over 12 different countries, and we're really excited that so many of you are here. So now that we've learned a little bit about what you do, it would be great to hear. So one of the things that Women Who Code does is make sure that the world knows that tech is existing outside of San Francisco, outside of the United States, and outside of a lot of larger cities that people kind of think is the go-to for tech. So I want to hear about the differences in all of your cities. It'd be great to know what Women Who Code is like in each of your cities, or what the tech industry feels like in where you live.
So in Taiwan, we are lucky. Tech is super hot in Taiwan. Software developers has in demand, as a top 5 job demand for the past 2 years. And companies like Microsoft, Google, and AWS, Amazon also set up AI research centers in Taiwan over the past year. So Women Who Code Taipei has been doing very well regarding training or providing opportunities for learning for tech women and also for non-tech women. So we kind of being approached by various companies in the past. Usually the tech companies come to us or startups, but now financial companies or traditional industry companies, they wanted to collaborate with us and understand what we can do to help them to recruit more female engineers in their companies. So these are the things that we feel like, yeah, we are doing super well. We are proud of our community and efforts from all the leaders in the community. At the same time, for the non-tech or tech tracks, we separate them into different, expertise. So, for example, we are leading the efforts of, introducing some exciting new programming languages or frameworks like Kotlin or Flutter. We created Flutter collabs and then led by Joanie, most of the time. We also, for non-tech women, we want them to understand what's happening in blockchain industry. So we introduced a few panels for people introducing those careers in the blockchain. And at the same time, for non-tech women, we want them to understand it's important for coding education to be started early. So we have Women Join Tech program there, and also wanted to highlight mid-level career women to become the leaders in their companies. We also have a podcast called 2020 Women Lead Podcast. So there are many things, many programs in Taipei that wanted to facilitate or embrace the culture of female engineers that should be in various companies in different layers. So that's what we're doing there.
As many of you know, India is a leading place where you can see many organizations have their presence. So especially with respect to the Women Who Code Bangalore chapter, we have grown from 500 to about 2,800 in last 3 years, and there has been a huge amount of interest that has been built across. So considering the kind of things that are happening, VMware came up with this initiative called VM Inclusion Tara, and they felt the need of women who code on how they can make a difference in the women community. The interesting part of this initiative is if you look women around you, especially about 5 to 8 years of experience, they tend to take break and never return to work. The program is intended to help women to return back to work, and this program is in VMware in association with Women Who Code, and the idea is to upskill women so that they return back to work successfully. And the good news is the very first participant who completed this program and got hired was one of the member of Women Who Code Bangalore chapter. I think this deserves a huge round of applause for all of you. Yeah. So the idea is to educate and help women in next 2 years for about 15,000 women. So far we have already reached the mark of 3,000. So spread the word and create opportunities like this in your community so that you can have a bigger impact for the wider community.
So, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, good. Thank you. So tech in Tokyo, I can say domestically it's really dynamic. There are so many the tech project happening and lots of startups pops up. And a lot of the companies really aggressively hiring, and there's so many demand of the engineers. But unfortunately, the percentage of the female engineers are quite small. That because there is the culture background, because still Japan is very traditional, but women are discouraged to pursue your career and to success in business, and encouraged to be a good mom and to be just housewife. So what we do as a Women Who Code Tokyo is very important because we offer the lots of women to build their skills and to train themselves to excel in the field. And we also give a lot of opportunities to the women to speak public. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yes. In Seoul, the tech community is growing fastly, and from the investment of the government, lots of startups is rising. And also the Google or Facebook, the big tech companies is coming to the Seoul and install their incubators and then space for helping people to have more resources on educations of the development and tech in general. So it's growing really fastly. And of course, there are lots of events dedicated to women and also lots of conferences. And I would say the proportions of the women and female is growing as well compared to the 10 years ago. I would say if there's one woman out of 10 and back in the 10 years ago, but now I would say maybe 2 or 3. So it's growing rapidly, and also the company also encourages women to continue their career, and the society is also changing. As Kate mentioned, our society is quite traditional, but the image is changing right now.
So in Beijing, the competition is fierce. Has anyone know there's a popular open source project in GitHub named 996 ICU? Yeah, it means refers to work by 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Yeah. Yeah, you are sick in ICU. so yeah, it's an ironic thing among Chinese developers. If you work according to such work schedule, you are risking yourself, right? You're risking your health. In other words, it says that the young, especially the young men or young ladies, they are working very hard. And also a lot of local internet companies, they are grab talents, top talents. So I think it can say that the tech, yes, the competition is very fierce, I think.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds, I hear kind of a common thread of work-life balance and expectations being really high. Once you are in the industry, people are kind of expecting you to put many, many hours into your career. And as you all know, you're all volunteers for Women Who Code, so you have that extra obligation that you've signed up for, and which we're very appreciative for. I'd really love to hear about some of the different types of events that you host in your community. So for those of you who don't know, all of these leaders host free technical events open to anyone in their community, and I think that's a really great way to bring people together to talk about these issues and to also hear each other and really excel. So Jane, would you like to talk about events in Taipei? I know you have an amazing podcast.
We usually do offline events, so like meetups and everything. But there's also higher and higher demands. People outside of Taipei wanting to know or learn from Women Who Code Taipei. So we also do, and sometimes we do live streaming, to teach people, for example, very basic, coding, for example, utilize Scratch, or other things like Flutter. Yeah, so these are the things that we do, online, and then offline events wise, like I just mentioned, certain programs like certain programming languages study groups like Flutter or Kotlin, or even there's for mid-level engineer managers to interact more to talk about their how their companies are doing. We also have a clean code study group. So over the time that we have been heard, for example, one of the leadership team members, she actually started her first coding class with us. It's called Hour of Code about 3 years ago. And she's now a data engineer and helping generate events, creating those programs for data science. For non-technical women, initially like her, she thought about creating machine learning crash course for non-tech. So we recruited a few volunteers with the technical background in machine learning, and they create those courses over 2 days, like workshops, for them. So these are the things that I feel like there is no best way of, like there's really no better community than Women Who Code Taipei or Women Who Code, because, we grow women and the women come back to contribute. And that's the best thing about, these like sustainable community. For technical women-wise, we encourage them to become the leaders or mentors of the community by, for example, being the speakers or being the interviewee at the podcast. So we are happy that this type of honors and that can pass over to them. At the same time, Angel, she's here, is creating also a certain coding bootcamp for return to work. The career certain women that they have to stop because they have child or they are married, which they probably will need to move to a different city with the husband. They wanted to relaunch their career in Taiwan. And then, there's demand there for a very long time. So Angel is, doing that type of, coding bootcamp, to prepare that type of, support for those type of women. And then also, there is also HR, volunteers. They can help them to prepare their resumes and the interview skills too. So these are the things that we feel like, as long as we have the, community which wanted to create more events, and as long as those core volunteers are actually grow with us, there are always new ideas coming, and they are able to generate those, programs for them.
That's really great. It sounds like Taipei has been very, very busy, but also embracing that you build a really great community and people don't always stay in the same place. And it's great if they move to another city that has Women Who Code physically, but we definitely acknowledge that there's a lot that we can be doing to serve people who are living outside of these major cities. So it sounds like Jane and her team are really working on that. Shwetha, what would you like to share about Bangalore and all of the things that you're doing?
Yeah. One of the interesting thing that we are doing in our network is Connect India from last 3 years, and the next one is going to happen in 2020 March. The dates are yet to be finalized, but if you are there, you have to check it out. So this year, we expected like about 500 to turn out, and usually in the meetups we see that 45 to 50% is the turnout ratio. So just we opened it up and we had 1,000 plus registrations 1 week before the event itself, and the actual turnout turned out to be 700 plus. And it was a amazing session, especially with Shanna and Amanda being there. We had a couple of interesting sessions for both tech and non-tech related areas, and we had execs from different organizations who shared their inputs, and it had a great value add. So after the event, people wrote back to us saying that, can we have these speed mentoring sessions every quarter, because we see the value add that it can bring to our career. Along with these lines, we do Wednesday webinars, which are most popular in our community. We do this in the lunchtime, 1 to 2, so that people actually find time to attend. It is not like you are at home and you will not be able to attend, or you are stuck in another regular deliverable. So that is another interesting thing that we work on. We also have currently running focus group of machine learning, and in September we are going to launch on containers and Kubernetes. Along with these things, one of the interesting things that we ensure during our workshops is we try to keep our workshops for a smaller size of about 20 to 30, so that more individuals get attention, and we will not move forward until 95% of the participants complete that particular task. So people feel more value add to attend our events, and we ensure that we have more than 4 experts in that specific technology, so that they go to each and every individual and check out have they completed whatever is the current task, so that people feel more value add, and they ensure that they attend the entire series of sessions. So one of the successful one was we did on Python, and Ranjini Swaminathan, the city director of Women Who Code, was part of it, and people actually came back. These days what we are seeing is execs of different organizations come back to us saying that, okay, we want to nominate these many people for these events that are currently happening, and we have POCs from different organizations. So they drop the note asking like, when is the next event happening? We would like to send our members to attend and learn out of these. So these are a couple of amazing things that we are doing, and machine learning is being driven by Ramya and Ranjini, the city directors of Bangalore chapter.
Thank you, Shwetha. I know that there's so many amazing things going on in Bangalore, and having the opportunity to visit for Connect India was really, really exciting. It sounds like you're listening to your members a lot and taking feedback very seriously.
One of the important things that I missed out, we have started a new series called Grow 360 Degree. This is based on the feedback that we heard, because many people told that we appreciate the way you are helping us learn the technology, but there is something that is missing today, and we want to learn more about the leadership and the soft skills, which are very important for us to grow in the technical ladder as well as leadership ladder. So the best part is people from women leaders from different organizations who are based out of different countries across the globe write to us saying that we are visiting Bangalore during these days. Do you like to host us? So that is the best part. And recently we hosted Senior Director of Intel, Anu Sridhar, as a leadership panelist, and we had a fireside chat with her. Yeah.
That's great. Kate, would you like to talk about the great things that are happening in Tokyo? I know from watching all of the meetups that are happening, all the events that they're posting online, that you are super inclusive of your community, and you always post in English and Japanese. I know that that really helps open the door for people who are native to Japan, but also for people who are expats or foreigners who are in the tech community. So I'd love to hear more about that.
So in Tokyo, we also organize a lot of technical workshops, events, and the weekly study session for all level. But we mostly we really organize lots of mentorship writing talk event. Since there are the lacking of the role model of the women in tech, that's why we really want to create a safe and comfortable community for women who can share their career difficulties and if they are wondering how they want to pursue their future career. To answer those questions, I often organize the mentorship writing talks. And this year, I give an opportunity. I organized 3 times mentorship writing talk, and I invited several levels of the female engineers and the product managers and also CEOs to talk and share their difficulties and their challenge in their career.
That's great. Yes, I always love seeing the different types of events that are happening in Tokyo, and I feel like there's always a lot of excitement about the new types of events that you're posting. Yes. And Seoul is one of our newest networks, and Yujin and her co-directors have done a really, really amazing job building the community. It's really hard to start a Women Who Code network in a new city. So a lot of the directors up here have been doing this for many years, and Yujin and a couple of other folks started in Seoul. So I'd love to hear about how that's going so far.
Yes. So Sujin, sure, there she is. Sujin has started off the network last year, and then there are a bunch of people who are interested in how women can be more involved in the society and can have more commitment. And so we're preparing, and then just starting as a casual meetup in the beginning. And then those bunch of people are bring other people who are interested in how to improve ourselves in the tech scene, and then how to improve my career. Those people's questioning about their life. It's generally sharing what they're think about the technical things, and we're just trying to making a conference casually in the beginning, and then presenting us, and then attending to that conference, and then saying that we're trying to building a community, and you can join to our Facebook group. So that's our beginning, and we are just trying to attending and presenting ourselves for now. So we try to attending as many as we can to the tech conferences happenings in local communities, or like PyCon, or like now it's JS conferences coming up to the town next year. So like our directors and community volunteers are preparing about being presented, our network. So what we're currently trying a lot of efforts is being presented. And we're here, and you can join us when you would like to have more help from us. That's what our strategy currently, and growing, and then trying to giving a regular talks and panels talks as well. And we have study groups. Previously, we have a 100 days of the coding study group, and recently React, and then English for the developers group is growing as well. So far, that's all, and I'm expected to grow more. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing great already. It sounds like a lot of you are working on more soft skills, or less technical skills are also really important to complement all of your actual like React workshops, Python workshops. So that's great to hear. Yiqun, do you want to talk a little bit about Beijing and how you and others are planning events there?
Like other directors said that there's a lot of technical sharing workshops, but I think what I had in my mind is those hard skills is very important, but I think the confidence in women herself is the most important. So I wish women who called Beijing could be an ally for each lady who wants to excel in the technology career path. Just stay in the technology path and not go away, and can create their brilliance in their career and their life. Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. In the future events, I think I will work with my teammates. I think if we can create such sessions that inspire or let every women see themselves and excel in their career path. Yeah.
That's great. Yes, it sounds like Beijing is really taking the Women Who Code mission to heart, which is to inspire women to excel in technology careers. And I hear a common theme of having women coming to these events and encouraging them to stay in the field, because what's common in all of your cities and a lot of other ones around the world is women leaving the tech field after 5 to 10 years, and it's really hard to come back into the industry if you've had a break because things change so quickly, technologies change so quickly. If you're a front-end developer and you learned Angular and then you had a child or had a family, Angular is no longer popular. So you need to learn React, or you need to learn Vue, or whatever the next new framework is. So all of the work that they're doing is helping people keep their skills updated and helping them really advance in their careers. So we are almost out of time already, if you can believe it. I would love to hear if you have 2 or 3 words that you think represent how you feel about your network or how you feel about the community. It doesn't have to be strictly, but just to keep it short, just a couple of words, excited, enthusiastic.
Women Who Code for me and for our community is really a representation of creating possibilities for your life. So we don't care about your age, your profession, your background. We want you to be part of community and grow with us.
That's great.
Women Who Code has played a major role, especially in our community, because we see more people building the tech passion and also going and attending different conference. So the basic thing that we try to help with these things is that we ensure that first of all creating the opportunities is important, so we ask them to attend the conference. So we tie up with different conferences, and the organizers extend free passes which we give to them. That actually builds the confidence, and then in the couple of months they will come up and say that, hey, this time I want to present. So that is the change that we are seeing in the community.
So I heard passion and confidence, opportunities. To summarize Bangalore.
Yes, for Tokyo, if I pick the three words, of course, inclusive first. We are really inclusive. We are open to all the levels and all the background people. And the second, let's say, professional. We really want as many as women to pursue their success in their career. So yeah, I pick professional. And lastly, let's say heartwarming. We are really like kind to each other and to accept who they are, and we are creating that kind of community.
That's great. Those are not words often associated with tech,
Love it.
so it's really great that you're building that in Tokyo. Yujin?
So I would like to emphasize that again, the diversity and the inclusion is the most important value from the Seoul's community. And I hope people who would like to join or who get information from us feeling safe and feel free to improve themselves and continue to commit to the society.
That's great.
So, what else?
Sorry, you're last. There's still lots of words.
It's okay. I just hope that more and more women, from local Chinese internet company would like to join. I'm not sure if it's caused by the culture or because most of our speaker sharing come from those from foreign companies. So yeah, I wish more and more national, local guys can join and sharing.
Yeah, it sounds like you want people from smaller companies and more local companies to attend your events. Well, thank you everyone for joining the panel. It was great to hear about all the, great to hear about all of the exciting work that you're doing in your communities, and hopefully you've had a chance to work with each other over the last couple of days and learn about all of these things and continue to make Women Who Could great. Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming. Oh.
Yesterday I was talking with Jane and she was talking about one aspect about growing in career. So I want Jane to share that with everyone because her perception about that was awesome. So Jane promised me that she would mention this.
And she didn't mention it. Ugh. Ramya, thank you for keeping her honest.
So yeah, sorry for keeping you for 2 more minutes.
No, you're fine. I bet it's really, really, really good. Thank you.
So
Ramya.
as you know, my full-time job is supporting women in tech. So Women Who Code is definitely the most caring organization I belong to. So every time I started a new chapter for a nonprofit, I told my volunteers there's only 2 years I want to become or stay as a director. That means if my volunteers can help me and can help grow the community to make it super successful, I can be retired at the time, at the 2 years. And that really shows the possibilities. And also there's also, really a caring for growing leaders, because we don't want to be the director for the entire life for that network. And that also shows the possibilities of, growing more leaders, not only in your network, yesterday I was promoted as a senior director, and I'm super honored, to become part of the senior director's role. Thank you.
I would also like to mention that Shwetha was promoted as a senior director because of all of the great work that she's doing in Bangalore and growing other leaders. So I was hoping both of you would have mentioned that, but thank you. Thanks, Ramya. All right.
I have to make everyone listen to identify things. That's very good.
No, I think that is a great point. I wish we had more time to go, deeper into everything that you're all working on and your thoughts on leadership. And thank you so much for joining. Thanks, everyone, for coming. And this is wrapping up Connect Asia. We have another panel that is wrapping up as well, and we'd love to do a group photo. So I think our group photo will be out by the photo booth billboard area on Event Hall 1-2. So meet us over there, please. All right, thank you.